Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good Tuesday afternoon. I'm Victoria Hill in for Samantha Sullivan. Democratic presidential hopefuls are preparing for their second debate. Over the next 2 nights, 20 candidates will be taking on each other, all with hopes of taking on President Trump in 2020. Reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson is in Detroit with the latest.
Standing along Woodward in front of the Fox Theater, we've seen a lot of people jogging, walking their dogs, really excited for what's about to take place. But come on and follow me just across the street from the Fox Theater. CNN has an entire stage set up. In fact, they've been broadcasting their live show here all morning. We've also seen members of a couple of different campaigns out here holding up the signs, cheering on their particular candidate. 10, of course, taking the stage. And the debates this time around in Detroit are going to be a little different. Candidates will have 60 seconds to answer a question, and if they interrupt, they will get time docked. There won't be any group questions asking candidates to raise their hands if they agree or disagree. But the biggest difference of all is the topics. We're expected to hear questions that specifically have to do with the Detroit area and Michigan issues. 20 will take the stage over the course of 2 days, but ultimately only one Democratic candidate will survive. Much like the Hunger Games, the goal at this point, to thin out the competition.
To strengthen or weaken particular candidates.
As 10 at a time step into the ring or onto the Fox Theater stage, political science professor Mike Thompson says the underdogs could come out of the gate swinging.
Challenge the front runner, then there are more points in the polls that could be reallocated to somebody else.
Each will have 60 seconds to answer questions which are expected to be aimed at the coveted Midwest voter and address Michigan concerns. Environmental issues like clean drinking water.
The failure to deal with the Flint issues, income inequality, these are really important issues.
International trade deals and manufacturing, which of course lead to
jobs, and jobs.
And some of the hopefuls have their own agenda. In the last couple of weeks, former Vice President Joe Biden released a criminal justice plan. Kamala Harris released a safe drinking water plan. Beto O'Rourke released an education equity plan. But with a field of 20, it may be tough to tell one politician from another. So here's some expert advice.
Does this person match up with what my needs are? Some of them are going straight ahead down a line and agenda and giving very clear understanding of who they are. Others, you don't have a clear idea at all.
And if you like fireworks, experts are expecting Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders to deliver tonight, and Joe Biden's camp is saying that he'll be a lot more aggressive tomorrow than he has been in the past. In Detroit, I'm Jennifer Ann Wilson.
And that debate begins at 6 o'clock tonight, Montana time, and you can watch it on CNN. Montana Governor Steve Bullock will be on that stage. It will be his first debate appearance as a presidential candidate. This debate also may be the last opportunity for marginal candidates like Bullock to break from the pack because qualifying for the next debate in September will be more difficult. Bullock joined the race in May and didn't qualify for the first Democratic candidate debate in June. He's been spending most of his campaign time in Iowa, the site of the first presidential nominating caucus next February. But he has yet to register much on polls in Iowa, showing up only in the low single digits. Bullock spoke with MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison on Monday and said he's hoping to use the debate to shift the conversation to what he thinks will resonate with the average voter.
I think often in the debates, at least watching those first debates, a lot of the discussions seem disconnected from people's lives, people's concerns about economically, am I doing better? Is the political system working for us? So I think I bring some unique things to the field, so the ability to get a real introduction.
And of course, MTN News will have detailed coverage later tonight of Bullock's debate performance. Now it's time to check in with Ed over in the Weather Center. How's it going today, Ed?
We got smoke, we got fire, at least in portions of the region. Let's start off by taking a look at where the smoke is. That's the areas that are shaded into the red areas. You can see a lot of it around Northern California and also in the Pacific Northwest, south of Seattle, but also those fires burning in Montana, particularly right around Helena. You can see a lot of that showing up there. And with the fires already burning, the potential for this afternoon, some thunderstorms that could produce gusty winds. We have fire weather conditions in most of north central and southwest Montana, red flag warnings into effect there. For eastern Montana extending into the Dakotas, the threat of at least isolated storms that could turn strong to severe with hail and gusty winds. More on that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Ed. Now, staying on the topic of fire, the Lewis and Clark County Commission has declared an official emergency in response to the North Hills fire. The fire has burned more than 4,600 acres north of Helena since it started on Friday. Commissioners say their emergency declaration is a necessary step so the county can receive state and federal assistance for their response to the fire. Leaders say the county has already had to pay for things like overtime for law enforcement and improving roads that firefighters need for access. While the declaration was formally approved at today's commission meeting, leaders say they've been working on it since the first day of the fire. Commissioners thank state and federal leaders for their quick work to secure support.
What the Department of Natural Resources and Conservation did was stepped up quickly to submit that application to FEMA. And thank you, DNRC. We thank you very much. Our state and federal partners, I'll tell you what, it's very impressive.
The county will meet with Montana DNRC later today to discuss more details on the financial aspects of the fire response. A city councilwoman in Lake County is being held on embezzlement charges. 33-year-old Annie Morajo of St. Ignatius is facing 2 felony charges for forgery and theft of close to $60,000 from the St. Ignatius Firefighters Auxiliary Board. Morajo was the secretary of the board at the time of the alleged theft, and her husband was the fire chief. The deputy Lake County attorney tells MTN News the Firefighters Auxiliary Board treasurer left the state for Colorado during this time, and Morajo took over the checking account. She allegedly signed for the treasurer and used the checking account as well as a debit card to withdraw cash and pay bills. Board members realized money was missing and went through the books. Checks from fundraisers were cashed and proceeds were not deposited into the fire department's account. The fire department receives most of their funds from auctions and fundraisers. Morajo was arrested around 3 p.m. Monday and bond is set at $50,000. The former Miles City athletic trainer accused of sexually assaulting hundreds of male students will learn his fate today. 79-year-old James Jensen is set to be sentenced in federal court this afternoon in Billings for coercion. This comes as new details from documents show the Montana Attorney General's office was investigating Jensen 17 years ago, but agents never charged him. Jensen's federal defense lawyer says his client confessed back in 2002, but charges were never filed because agents said they didn't have enough evidence.